take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. It's time!
It's Sunday, December 6th, 2020. This is the Church of MMA podcast. My name is Tabor Cragen.
My name is Mason Knight. This is episode 50, Hermansson versus Vettori recap. Then after that, we jump into some MMA news. And then we talk about the UFC 256 preview show. But Tabor, where do we begin?
With our social media accounts, Mason, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, at the Church of MMA. Guys, if you aren't following us already, make sure you go and do it. We are growing every single day. We are posting clips of the show, funny memes, trying to make you laugh. Hit us up.
Yeah, and go check out our YouTube channel as well, guys. We give you the update every week. We are up to 374 subscribers. We thank every single one of you guys. And we would really like to hit 400 this week. That's kind of our a milestone right now for this coming week. So let's hit 400. Thanks again for the support. Tabor. Yes.
And sorry, Mason.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
No, the church merch. We got to tell everybody. We got to shout it from the rooftops. The church merch is out.
Yes, it
Baby,
is.
It's out. Are you wearing a t-shirt right now?
I'm not wearing a t-shirt right now. I'm not even in the right studio. I'm in the Have You Seen It one.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Where all the
we'll
gear
get into why
up.
this is over Zoom in here just a second. But everybody, go buy a t-shirt, buy a mug, fucking face mask, anything. The Church of MMA. Your graphics are awesome, Mason.
Thank you.
Yeah. So where's that? Teespring, real quick. Teespring at the Church of MMA.
Yep. Teespring at the Church of MMA. You can find that link in the description below even. So yes, sir.
Absolutely. So Mason, obvious, this is a weird change up. We're not in the studio.
No, we're not.
I have a wooden backdrop right now.
You do, which is it's very elegant. It looks beautiful. Yeah.
No, so a little bit of a Rona scare. I'm not going to say if I was positive or not, or whether my family members are positive or not, but, a coworker of ours, his brother did test positive, and They did see each other over Thanksgiving weekend.
Right.
And of course he goes,
oh, no.
on a job site one day.
That's a red flag, brother. You got to stay away.
We're like, yeah, okay, man, you're feeling sick. That's fine. No, just it's okay. And he goes, yeah, my brother just tested positive for coronavirus. And we're like,
yeah, no, dude, is he one of those guys where it's like, hey, man, can I get a drink off your water? You're like, yeah, no problem. You drink off his water, and then he's like, oh, by the way, I should probably tell you, I saw my family yesterday, and he's got the fucking Rona, so...
Yeah. I swear to God, that's exactly what happened. He's like, oh, by the way, he's like, just coughing in our faces and shit. I was like...
Coughing up blood, just eyes bloodshot red, just awful.
Yeah, no, we're all fine. Nobody's having symptoms. My dad says, he's feeling a little sick, but I don't know. That could be mentally. Like, I don't think any of us are going to go get tested right now. I think we're all just going to be just fine. But to be safe, Christmas is coming up.
It is.
I'm going to see family members. I'm sure you want to go see your family members, but just to be safe,
I got one grandparent left, so
gotta
try to keep that streak going.
Last,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so we're all being safe here, and maybe next week we have to do this too. But after that, hopefully we're right in there. I think after this next week, UFC 255, it's Hazmat Chimaev card, which got canceled. We'll get into that in MMA news, but I mean, really.
Well, and good news for us, Tabor, is the CDC came out and said it's not a 14-day now; it's a 10-day. Oh, and by the time you found out, we should be able to meet up next week, so that's good.
Good.
Based on the whole guidelines, so.
Yeah, I mean, we're making do. I mean, this is perfect, but
this works.
I would love to be in studio right now.
And dude, this whole Zoom thing, there are obviously a lot of downfalls to the coronavirus and stuff. But as far as technology and trying to figure things out, we are very fortunate to have Zoom and these software systems be able to help us communicate even when we can't be face to face. So it works. Especially if you and I are traveling too, we can always just do this over Zoom.
Yeah.
I know John Anik, Ken Florian do this too. So
yeah,
cool.
Yeah. I mean, shit. So many MMA podcasts are literally, Bisping podcast. Bisping's West Coast.
Yep.
Lewis is on the East Coast. So if you can find the chemistry over Zoom, shit, it works. Many people are doing it. So many podcasts are doing it nowadays.
All right, man.
Anyways, let's get into it. I think we got to get into this main event, man.
Yeah, we do. Wow. This fight, man, easily fight of the night. 5 rounds. We got Jack Hermansson, number 4 ranked middleweight in the world versus Marvin Vettori, number 12. And dude, this fight lived up to the very, very short hype that it had. But man, Marvin Vettori, for everything that he is, he's got like this anger inside of him, and he just exudes it in the octagon, man. I mean, he looked fantastic in this fight. What do you think? What were your thoughts like watching this?
Impressed, dude. Like, I was shocked. Shocked at the output mainly. Like, the dude was not stopping. He was constantly throwing, constantly in Jack's face. Yeah. And dude, in the first round, when he almost got that KO and then was trying to fuck him up on the ground, going for the ground and pound. And then even Dominic Cruz pointed this out. He went for the decision to grapple with Jack Hermansson.
Yeah.
Like, you're a wild man if you're making that decision.
Middleweights.
An absolute savage on the ground, and he was out grappling him. So I'm beyond impressed with Marvin Vettori right now, honestly.
Yeah, he really did just look absolutely phenomenal. I mean, here are the judges' scorecards. 45-49, 46-49, and 46-49. Marvin Vettori decisively won that fight. He won essentially every round. I guess one judge must have given it a 10-8 and then gave one round to Jack. But nonetheless, what a performance. This kid is ready to fight. And watch out, middleweight division. They had broken a record, too, for the middleweight fights. Jack Hermansson versus Marvin Vettori. They had broke the significant strike record set by Israel Adesanya and Joelle Romero. So
crazy.
Yeah, history was made.
Kelvin Gastelum.
Was it Kevin? Where was it Kelvin?
Joelle, Kelvin? Remember that fight? Definitely, that fight was not breaking any records.
No. Whoops, I must have got my facts wrong. Here we go. Let's scratch that out of my notes, you dummy.
That's funny.
Yeah.
No, but you are right though. It did break those records.
It did.
Was it an exciting fight? Yes, absolutely. Was it as exciting as that one? No, but I'm really shocked because the output was insane. That's stuff you see from flyweights. That's stuff you see from these lower weight class guys. Yeah. I mean, a guy as big as Marvin Vettori, just making 186 for him has got to be a challenge. And for him to put on a pace like that for 5 rounds, I have to ask you, what were your thoughts on that? The third round, that was an obvious Jack round, but the fourth, did you agree with that judge that gave Marvin that 4th round as well?
What are you talking about? The 10-8 round? The one judge had 10-8.
Ooh, did one judge have 10-8? I didn't know that.
Well, I mean, it would have to be the way that I'm doing math. Maybe my math is wrong. Correct me. But 49-45, that would imply that one round went to Jack, but then he got a 10-8 on the other card. Or excuse me, on a different round.
Interesting. Yeah.
Because it should be 50-45, right? So it just means that the judge had to have given him one round and then gave him a 10-8 in order to... Because if you have 49-46, right, you should have 46.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Well, my point is I agree with that judge that if that judge gave him 4 out of the 5 rounds, I agree with that judge. I did think Marvin won that 4th and that 5th as well. That 4th round was very close. Jack was just marauding in the 4th and 5th, throwing huge haymakers, throwing those massive hooks, going for the KO in the 5th. That 5th round was a fantastic fight.
Insane.
It really was.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, and this is the question I kind of want to pose to you as well. But for me, this sits on, this has got to be one candidate for Fight of the Year. I mean, we are getting down to the wire, and I know in the MMA community, there's a lot of recency bias going on. But man, was this not an entertaining fight? I was on the edge of my seat. And here's the thing. Jack Hermansson lost 4 out of the 5 rounds, I think pretty decisively on everyone's scorecards, right? But he was never out of the fight. And that was the difference. I mean, at any point, you could have felt like he could have retired Marvin Vettori, but it just wasn't the case. Marvin was just on his game, dude. He looked phenomenal. His punches, his combinations, and dude, this kid has got a lot of power and he hits you with a lot of malice, man.
Yeah.
I mean, remember the name Marvin Vettori. If you guys don't know, if the casuals don't know yet, damn. And I even underestimated him, man. I said Jack Hermansson. I thought Jack was going to go out there and submit him. But the thing with Marvin Vettori is he literally tried taking Jack Hermansson down once or twice. And that's the crazy thing, like I tried to grapple with Jack Hermansson. He was not scared of his jiu-jitsu at all. And Marvin Vettori, man, wow. That's all I got to say. Just so impressive.
super impressive and shocking because I mean I really did expect him to have the better stand-up. I knew he was very, very dangerous with his stand-up. Everyone always goes back and talks about that Israel Adesanya fight. They love to bring that fight up, say, oh, Marvin really brought it to Israel. I didn't really think that was the most entertaining fight, but Marvin was finding successes. Israel is just so good. He didn't make him look good. I guess you could say that about every one of Israel's opponents, but everyone, when they talk about that fight, I don't think that's the best representation of Marvin Vettori striking, but this fight that he just put on right now with Jack Hermansson, it's without a doubt the best performance of his career, and I'm just super excited for him, man. So I mean, what do we do with him? I mean, he has to be a top 5 guy. Right,
and this is who he called out after the fight in the post-fight interview. He wanted Paulo Acosta Tabor. That is the perfect fight, okay? Paulo Acosta is coming off that embarrassing loss to Israel Adesanya for the championship, right? That's the perfect fight. These guys are both brawlers. They just want to throw. They want to bang. They will stand in the middle of the octagon and throw for 5 rounds if it happens to be a fight night main event. This is the fight we got to put together, man. Paulo Acosta, you know he's going to come out like a madman because he was embarrassed by Israel Adesanya. He had the greatest shot, the biggest shot, and he blew it, and then he got humped afterwards. That's the most disrespecting thing of all time, right? So I'm telling you right now, with a guy like Marvin Vettori on the up and up, that is the perfect fight. And whoever wins that fight, man, you got a good argument. I think Marvin Vettori beating Paulo Acosta would have a better wording for trying to get the next title shot. But dude, that would put Paulo Acosta back on the map if he went out and beat a guy like Marvin Vettori. I love that call out. I think it's the perfect call out, and no one gives enough credit to Marvin Vettori, man, and not even I to a certain extent, but I am continuing to give him more respect because, like, dude, this kid has got it figured out. He understands, like, not just to go out there and win, but to call out the right opponent it's so important, and that's exactly what he did. Let's make this happen, UFC. Let's make this happen, Dana White.
I agree 100%, dude. Paulo Costa, that's the opponent. That's the guy I want to see Marvin Vettori fight. When you got a name like that in your mouth, dude, you better be fucking ready because everyone's going to be talking shit about Paulo because of that last performance. Right. He did not look good against Israel. Israel is so good. He makes people that are complete freaks look amateur, and that's exactly what happened. Do not sleep on Paulo Costa in that fight, folks. I mean, that is a fucking fight.
And hey, let's not forget, like, he went toe-to-toe with Joelle Romero, the soldier of God. I mean, he's still very respected in the middleweight division, and yes, he had an embarrassing loss. It happens. You're an athlete. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some, unless you are a freak of nature like Khabib Nurmagomedov. Like, that is just going to happen. It's how you recover. It's how you rebound from that. And I'm telling you, he's going to be a bat out of hell trying to take off Marvin Vettori's head. This is a fight we gotta make.
Yeah, it's got to be made. Absolutely, 100%. Make it right now. Mick Maynard, Dana White, Sean Shelby. I know you're not listening, but if you are, hurry the fuck up. I want it announced tomorrow.
Yep. Yeah, for real. Yes.
All right, Mason. So I took Hermansson. I took him second round sub, so no points for me.
Yeah, and I had Hermansson first round KO. I think that's a typo, bro. I meant to put Marvin Vettori there after that performance. But, man, yeah, I'm never counting out Marvin Vettori again. Like, yeah, I knew he was a great fighter, but, dude, I just didn't think he was going to be able to compete. And he just proved the hell out of me wrong. I love it, dude. I love when these guys go out there and just put on a performance like he did. I mean, you could just tell he wanted it. I could talk about Marvin Vettori forever. I mean, he impressed me so much in that fight. Jack Hermansson's no joke. I mean, he was making easy work of some elite middleweight contenders. And then Marvin Vettori to go out there and do what he did. Not for 3 rounds, brother, for 5 rounds. I mean, come on. It's incredible. But we will move on to the co-main event of this fight. Ovin St. Peru versus
Jamal Hill.
Jamal Hill. Thank you.
Yes.
Don't have it up here.
I am very, very impressed with Jamal Hill, man. Dude, he looks really dangerous. Extremely dangerous. He doesn't look like he's the biggest 205 pounder in a division, which in a division with 205ers right now, like, you got heavyweights that are fighting in this division right now. Like, there are savages that are cutting ridiculous amounts of weight to make 205. Jamal Hill looks a little smaller than some of these guys because OSP was one of these guys. I mean, he didn't make weight. He was a 207.5. It wasn't a good look. I mean, OSP, let's talk about the fight. In the first round, he was really it looked like he couldn't get his kicks off. Every time he tried to kick, Jamal Hill would kick him at the same time. Kind of like Dominic Reyes did when he fought John Jones. Was very effective, kind of shut him down in the first and then just took over in the second. And when he was pressuring him up against the fence and throwing those massive hooks, man, it looked like a guy that is going to really, really compete with a lot of these elite 205ers. I'm not saying throw him to a top 5 guy right away, but I am impressed with him. Well, and I can't wait for this guy's future.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing, man. That's the thing with this light heavyweight division, with the absence of now John Jones. It has just completely opened up this division. I mean, even the top 15, Ovince St. Preux was obviously number 15 in the light heavyweight division. But now Jamal Hill will obviously take that. And I think kind of the question now is, what is next for Jamal Hill? He's still undefeated now. After that win, should be 9-0 currently as a professional. So who do you throw him? Now, you could do a young man on young man matchup. You could go a Jimmy Crute, maybe.
Oh,
I mean, what do you think there? I kind of like that because Jimmy Crute had a win not too long ago. He may be looking for someone on the up and up a little bit more. Or how about this? A guy who just fought, Paul Craig.
Okay. Yeah, but I mean, he did just fight number 15. So does he need to fight a number 14, 13, 12? You know, maybe a number 11 in Magomed Ankalaev. I think, but does he deserve a top 10 opponent? Are we talking like a Volkan Ozdemir or Johnny Walker or someone like that?
Yeah, you know, I got to talk about Magomed Ankalaev. I think for right now, after that huge win against Ian Kutalaba, I think you got to give that guy someone higher. But looking at this, the only guy that sticks out now is Orion Spann at number 12. And maybe that would be the matchmaking, but I don't think Jamal Hill should have a top 10. No, I think we got to go 11 to 15 here. And as it sits right now, I mean, you're either looking at a Paul Craig or Ryan Spann.
Yeah. OSP is a great first name to get on your record.
Absolutely.
When you're really trying to get in the upper echelons, when you're trying to rack names up, because that's really what a Jamal Hill wants to do now. He wants to keep racking up those big names. And, you know, I think a Magomed Ankalaev is just that, you know, that'd be a great fight.
Yeah. And, you know, again, absolutely no disrespect to OSP because he has been around. He is a vet of the sport, but, you know, he has had a spotty record over the last couple of years. I think, you know, just to throw Jamal Hill to the Wolves at a top 10, you know, I just think would be a little soon.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about OSP. I mean, I think he needs to stick at heavyweight, dude. He looked pretty good in that. Who did he fight at heavyweight? Big Ben.
Yeah, Big Ben.
He looked pretty good. I think he needs to stick around heavyweight, man. I mean, if you're missing weight, if it's killing you to get to 205, you're such a big guy. Just if you need to make that money, you want to make those paychecks, just do it at heavyweight, man. I think he could have a great, you know, I'm not going to say he's going to have a title run. But I don't think that's in his future, but you know, he could have a great end of his career at heavyweight.
But here's the thing, you know, with the light heavyweights, you know, it is very hard for them to cut down. I'm not speaking for all of them, but majority of them, you know, it's pretty hard to cut to 205. We've seen it in people's careers, like DC moving up to heavyweight, John Jones now moving up to heavyweight. There have been so many fighters to do this. And, you know, we look at OSP right now. He's 37 years old. He's kind of got a spotty record. And as you said before, did not look bad against Ben Rothwell at all. I think you are 100% right, Tabor. I think that is where we have to see OSP. Is at heavyweight. That's where I'd like to see him. I don't want to see him missing weight. And to be fair, you know, we must bring this up. In his 40 professional fights, he has only missed weight one time, and that was last night. So we give a little grace to a professional who always shows up and makes weight. Sometimes things happen. He's getting older in his career. But yeah, I completely agree with you. Let's move up to heavyweight OSP. And because, again, we don't have a very strong top 15. I think OSP would fit fine up there.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. So Gabriel, Benitez, and Justin James. This was a fight. I did watch this, but for some reason on the website, it says it was a TKO from a knee. Was that right? I thought he got hit with a right hand. Maybe I'm thinking of a different
this was
fight.
The knee. Oh my God. A beautifully placed knee just dropped, just crumpled Justin James. I don't know what more to say. I mean, he threw a perfectly timed knee, and you could tell it crippled him. It hit him right in the solar plexus, knocked the wind out of him.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, it hit him in the chest.
Yep.
Yes, 100%. Now I remember this fight. Yeah, that was vicious. Scary. Like, holy shit. You're getting hit with that kind of impact in the chest, and it's finishing you that quickly. fuck, man, that probably men have probably been killed within.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and I'm not joking. Okay, with the way he crumpled, like I was like, oh my god, you break your sternum like that, dude, that can kill you. Like that's that's like getting hit by a car, literally. Like sometimes you don't come out ahead on that. But luckily he was able to get up and recover. He just got the wind knocked out of him the same way, you would carrying a football falling on top of it. Sometimes you get the wind knocked out of you. That was the analogy used. But yeah, man, I mean, Gabriel Benitez, hats off to him, man. He looked good. He was putting together some combinations, man. I mean, God, you got to give it to this guy. Up and comer, 22-9, look great,
Yeah. Yeah, very excited for this lightweight division. Dude, these lightweights are just like, I mean, these guys I've never even heard of. There's guys I've never even heard of, and then he comes out and just gets a crazy KO like that, and it makes you want to remember these up and coming guys, makes you want to remember these names, and when you're getting finishes like that, dude, it's so good for your career because that's how you get fans behind you. That's how you get some hype. That's how you get those bigger paychecks. Yep. So I can't wait for that. The rest of this lightweight division, honestly, it's just looking ridiculous. So this fight we'll kind of glance over, but I do want to talk about the issue at hand. Okay, this is very interesting. So we have Roman Dolidze. Is that am I saying that right? It's Dolidze. I have no idea. I'm going to say Dolidze. I always forget how to say it. It's Roman Dolidze against John Allen. Okay, now clear cut and concise. Roman won this fight. It was three rounds to none. Right, like easily. No questions asked. We get to the judge's scorecard. I'm sitting there not even paying attention. And the first judge gives it to John Allen on a 29-28. I'm like, this... Because, dude, I couldn't believe it because Buffer was saying it was a split decision. I'm like, this has got to be a joke. There's no way. The first one they give to John Allen. Next two they give to Roman. But, man, egregious judging. I don't know what this judge was doing. And, ironically enough, come to find out, this was the same judge that made the egregious call against Paul Felder and Rafael dos Anjos just a couple weeks ago. It's same judge. Yeah. So, but here's the problem, man. This judge clearly, and I wish I had his name because I'd put him on blast because I do honestly feel like judges also need to be held accountable the same way referees are, the same way fighters are when they miss weight, the same way referees are when they make a bad call. We gotta have some accountability for these judges when they make horrendous calls, but they had absolutely no respect for the ground game. Anytime it went to the ground, the guy must have been on his fucking cell phone or something. But yeah, gave 29-28 John Allen. It was completely and utterly egregious, but luckily Roman was able to get away with that split decision. Mm-hmm. So yeah, unfortunately, this was a fight I did not watch. We were right in the middle of the process of putting all brand new floors throughout my entire houses. I had to watch the fights today, like right before we did this podcast. So.
Well, dude, I installed a little, I mean, you remember, I installed that little ass 4, and that took me hours, so I could only imagine the chaos that's going on trying to install 4s into your whole house.
And we didn't even try, like, we're not even moving all the shit out. We're fuck it, we're going to put floors down underneath stuff. We're, like, holding stuff up, and the guy's putting flooring down real quick. It's a nightmare. I didn't get to watch this fight, unfortunately, but, I'm sick of hearing stuff like this, dude. Like, these fucking judges have... I mean, I guess the problem is there's nothing you can do about it, and it's just frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, unless the athletic state commissions do something about these judges. But yeah, I don't have the solution. I just am on here on a microphone complaining about them, but I really don't have any solutions except maybe some punishment or something, or some more training. I don't know, but we gotta figure out this judging thing. I mean, here's the thing. Let's use it in perspective of like the NBA, MLB, or the NFL, right? Let's say we have an MLB. We have an umpire, and he's calling every single ball a strike. Well, the MLB is not going to continue to allow this man to officiate a baseball game. So why do we continue to allow these jackwagons to judge when literally you're talking about fighters? This is different. This isn't a baseball game where you got to play 162 games a year. This isn't the NFL where you have 17 weeks and then playoffs. You're talking about guys who maybe have 15 fights, professional fights in the UFC throughout their entire career, and every fight means something. And when you take that one opportunity away from someone because you're an incompetent asshole who doesn't know how to do his job, it's absolutely inexcusable. Inexcusable, and something needs to be done. I don't have all the answers, but I'm also not working for these state commissions and stuff. So I don't have the answers, but something's got to be done because this is ridiculous.
Maybe we should be, dude. Maybe we just got to get some connections because I honestly feel like me or you would be better judges than some of these motherfuckers.
Well, yeah, and we're not even professional at it, but like sometimes it's just so egregious that it's just like it's right there in your face, you know? Like I hate it. It is the most frustrating thing, man, to just have terrible judges, and especially when a fight doesn't go someone's way. By bad judging, that's the worst. Because, I mean, you're talking about 2 years of someone's career. One loss can set you back 2 years, especially in the best organization in the world like the UFC.
Yes,
it's just, there's too much competition, man. Way too much competition. So, again, we got to hold these judges to better accountability because it's ridiculous.
Yes. So we did get points in this fight, even though I didn't watch it. I did take Deladze first round KO. Didn't happen. Still got a point though. You took him third round TKO.
I did. So 1 point for me as well.
Yeah, I mean, these last few weeks for us, dude, and picks have been really horrendous. Rough. Like fucking 1-2 points between the both of us.
It's been a rough go around this last December and November. Yeah, it is, man. But again, that's why I love this sport, man. That proves you wrong. These fighters come out, you know, and all we do is sit behind a mic and talk shit and pick fights. That's it, man. Like that's all we do. But these guys actually go out there and make a living and prove us wrong all the time. I love it, dude, because that's what makes this sport awesome. You're never an expert. It doesn't matter. You could pick the winner 29 times, and then you try to pick the winner the 30th or the 31st time. You could be wrong. I am not predicting Habib. I'm going for Habib if he fights GSP. That was not a predictor there. When I said 29-0, I just realized I did that. All right, so let's move on to this because this might be the most interesting fighter I've ever seen in my life. This guy reminds me of like a theater kid. He does not remind me of a vicious, savage fighter like Jordan Levitt. Dude,
really?
Did you? Oh my gosh, the way he walks is like a kid who walks in theater. You know, just very like
dramatic.
Well, I guess dramatic's not really the right word. Just very. He's there, like, and he has a lot of facial expressions too when he talks But man, this guy's a killer. He's a savage. The way he postured up Matt Wyman and just slammed him on the mat, I couldn't believe it. What a slam. Yeah. I was scared, though, for Matt. I was scared for his safety or for his health, man, because when you hit the back of your head like that on the floor, that's no bueno. That was a vicious slam. And the head and neck looked like it took majority of the brunt.
Oh, it bounced. Bounced off the canvas with that slam. It was very vicious. It very much reminded me of Rose Namajunas and Jessica Andrade. Very scary at the time. The guy's like, fuck, man. Like, you're going to slam. He didn't even look like he had that much of a distance. It was just that much power and pressure going down on the mat. Like, holy shit.
And he put that elbow right across his chest, right up to his collarbone. And then he just used his weight to just come forward.
All that
momentum just landed right on that spine and neck, man. And scary. My God. Yeah, very scary. But man, Jordan Levitt, Jordan Levitt is strong and super impressive. And again, another undefeated fighter on the come up, man.
Yeah,
I mean, did you see his post fight?
So many of them.
Did you see his post fight?
No.
Okay. Just look, dude, go on the ESPN Plus app. You got to watch the post fight because I'm telling you right now, man, this is what's scary about mixed martial arts nowadays and jiu-jitsu and stuff. Like you could come across someone who you're like, oh yeah, okay, well, if we got in an altercation, you know, and he threatened me and tried to hit me, like I might be able to defend myself. But you really don't know now, dude. No, if this Jordan Levitt guy walked past you, you'd be like, there's no way I could take him. No problem. No, not the case at all. This kid's a savage, man, like an absolute savage. But he's like the most like friendly and energetic, like, oh, hey, how's it going? You know, like just very smiley. And it's kind of creepy, man. I gotta be honest, a little creepy in the best way possible because it's just like, what in the hell? But super impressed with this kid, man. Like, honestly, he looked great in a great slam. And I believe one knockout of the night.
Yeah, it should. I mean, dude, if you're going to flatline a guy like that with a slam, it's very rare. I mean, it happens, but it doesn't happen too often. So it's very, very impressive.
Yeah.
All right. MMA news time, Mason. Leon Edwards and Hazmat Chimaev It's off.
Boo.
Fuck.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, seriously, man. Pretty devastating news. This was the fight to end the year for the UFC. And it was a fight I really wanted to see, man. I mean, Leon Edwards, number 3 in the world, and then unranked, and then ranked again after taking this Khamzat Chimaev fight. And dude, this was kind of pivotal for Khamzat's career too, to see where he stands, in this welterweight division. But now with Leon Edwards and Khamzat testing positive for Corona-19, we're not going to get it. And it sucks. I'm hoping they can reschedule this for like February, maybe January. Ooh, think about that, dude. But again, I want to see this fight 5 rounds. So never mind.
Yeah.
Give me a fight night. I don't want to see it on the Connor card. Give me this as a fight night, 5 rounds. But what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I just hope this is the matchup they still make.
Yeah.
I don't care when it happens. Poor Leon has just had such a shitty 2020.
Yeah, for real.
The man was the first card that was canceled by COVID. He's supposed to fight Tyron. He was set up for that number 1 contender fight.
Yep.
Fell through. Gilbert Burns gets pushed into that upper echelon, loses a title fight. Gilbert Burns falls out with COVID-19. Leon gets the title shot, doesn't take it.
Yep.
And then he just wants the title shot right off the bat, isn't taking any fights, gets kicked out of the rankings, and now he's back. It's like I could fucking talk all fucking day about Leon Edwards. You gotta fight.
I know,
you gotta
man.
Fight. And it's soon. I know he tested positive.
Yeah.
I know. And last week we were talking that Hazmat tested positive. So I hope only the best for Leon. I hope he recovers as soon as possible. This is a serious virus. Even some fighters have said they've had pretty serious symptoms. So I hope he recovers, and I hope he's back on this docket as soon as possible. I don't know what's going on with January. I think the first card is McGregor-Poirier.
Yeah,
I don't.
That would be my assumption too, which that card would be what, January 23rd or something to that effect.
Yeah. Yeah, and I remember just this year, the first card of the year was the McGregor fight. I think that's what they're doing for this 2021 start to year off with the UFC, big, massive fights, and then fight nights afterwards, which I'm not going to lie, it's going to suck because we're going to have a couple weeks with no fucking fights, and it's like, fuck, I want to watch this Leon Edwards Khamzat Chimaev fight. Well, make that before January.
I know. It's just not going to happen, man. I mean,
it's not happening.
Saturday, December 19th is the last card of the year. That's the Thompson-Neal fight. And then after that, Tabor, we are actually off for the whole entire month. We the last fight card is December 19th. We don't get another card, which was the Max Holloway Calvin Kattar fight, until January 16th. We're talking a full month without fights. I am going to have withdrawals. I'm going to be weaned out. I'm just going to have to watch like old Pride fights or something, man. I'm going to have to find something to watch. It's going to be a miserable month, with no fights after getting them all year, every single week. Feel like I'm back in quarantine again, on lockdown. Shit.
Yeah. Don't worry. Don't worry, guys. We got an episode coming because we will be doing a year in review. Probably.
Oh, yeah. The year in review.
We stay busy for those few weeks. So we're going to be doing something.
We got some video ideas.
So don't worry. But let's talk about this main event. So Hazmat and Leon is off. We have no idea when that's going to be started again. I mean, who fucking knows? Probably February.
Yes. That's my guess. Probably February.
Yeah, so let's talk about this new main event. Now the new main event is sorry, I'm about to sneeze.
Oh no worries.
It's gone. No. So this new main event, it is Jeff Neal and Steve Wonderboy Thompson.
Yeah.
Hey, God, there it comes.
There you go. There it is. There's a sneeze.
There's the Rona sneeze. Yeah, I definitely got it.
Unedited podcast. We will keep the sneeze in there just for the fans at home listening. Yeah, but no, this is a as best as you can do on short notice. And not only that, but this is actually like a fight I am genuinely curious to watch. Jeff Neal, hands of steel. Are you kidding me? Against one of the greatest counter strikers in this division that we've ever seen in Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. This is a perfect matchup and a fight I'm very intrigued to see how this fight will go down. Is Jeff Neal going to be able to land those big shots? Is he going to be able to KO Stephen Wonderboy Thompson? Or is Thompson going to be able to sit on the outside and counter every single combination or every single strike that Jeff Neal has? Very curious to see how this fight shakes out.
I can't wait for it, dude, because hands of fucking steel, dude.
Yeah.
It really only takes one punch.
It does. With that man, oh, God, it's scary.
It's scary. He's got unreal power. And you're going up against I mean, I say he's the greatest counter striker the UFC's ever seen. He hasn't won the belt yet, but he's been super close. I think he is on that level of Israel Adesanya. It may be it's just the styles are different. You know, he's so karate based. Israel's a little more Muay Thai. It's just a little different. But I think those are 1 and 2. They could go back and forth as the best counter strikers. This is a crazy matchup for Jeff Neal. If Jeff Neal beats Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, I'm going to be screaming his name from the rooftops, dude. He is going to deserve a number 1 contender fight after that.
Absolutely. I got to give a little respect to Anderson Silva, though, when we talk about counter strikers and who needs to be on the Mount Rushmore. Anderson Silva was literally in the Matrix in his prime. But nonetheless, you know, I'm really excited about this main event. I'm really happy that this fight is 5 rounds, too, because we know, Tabor.
It's 3 rounds.
What?
Yep, it's 3 rounds. I
they didn't
bring this up because this is what makes me disappointed in this main event. Dude, this is a 5-round fight.
I thought it was a 5-round fight.
The fight night. This was co-main originally under Leon and Hazmat. They're still staying at 3. They're not moving it to 5. It needs to be, dude. You guys got a couple more weeks to prepare, but I guess I'm not going to complain. At least we're still getting fights. It's still a ridiculously stacked card, but I would love to see that fight for 5 rounds. Or if not that fight, you know, Jose Aldo, Cheeto. Yeah. But Jose's like, fuck you. I
ain't trying to take another 5-round fight ever again, you know? And you know what? Here's the thing. Like, now getting that news, I am a little disappointed, obviously, that it's not going to be a 5-round fight, but I also understand from the fighter's perspective, you know, sometimes you are just training for a 3-round fight. Sometimes you take a fight on 6 weeks notice. And given the situation with the coronavirus and all these different things you have to go through, I get it if these guys aren't okay with going an extra 2 rounds. I'm just happy that we're going to see the fight because it's still a very intriguing matchup. And it's kind of up in the air for me right now. I'm going to have to sit and ponder on this fight for a little while to see really who I'm going to pick.
Yeah.
But I'm excited about it nonetheless.
Yeah, I agree, dude. I'm not going to make any picks right now because it's a very, very interesting matchup, like you said. But let's get into some other news. This broke and really shocked me. I was like, what in the fuck? Joelle Romero got released by the UFC.
Okay, I want to bring this up to you, okay? Just so we're on the same page, right? Joelle Romero is right now on the UFC. I got to go to it real quick. He is literally number 5 in the world right now. And they cut the guy.
Yeah.
Dana White in a post conference, or in a conference rather, talked about why he cut Joelle Romero. He was asked that question. He said, hey, look, he's 40-something years old. He's lost 4 out of his last 5 fights. He goes, we're making huge cuts. And this is part of MMA news, really, and is Dana White said he will be making anywhere from 60 to 70 cuts.
And it's already over. I think they cut 60 guys.
That's insane. But
Formiga was one of them.
They cut Formiga?
Mm-hmm. More flyweight cuts, dude. That division might be on the chopping block.
Wow.
I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked either because with a guy like Figareto, he can bump up to bantamweight, no questions asked. But here's the thing. If you are eliminating the flyweight division, then give us a 165-pound division. Move every division up 5 pounds. So we have 175, 185, and then 205. Come on, we got to do it. I think it's time. We got enough talent. I mean, the talent is just seeping out of the welterweight and lightweight division. I mean, there's so many elite top guys in these 2 divisions that we can make a 3rd division and really have some fun with it. Absolutely.
That is one thing I just do not understand on the UFC side. I agree with Dana on a lot of things. I think he's the best thing that's ever happened to the UFC. I think he's the best president ever. But I am just a little confused as to why he is so hesitant on not having a 165-pound champion.
I don't know, dude. It's weird.
Yeah, here's the thing, okay? We talk about Khabib Nurmagomedov, GSP. Let's say he doesn't want to cut down to 155. So you make the mega fight, the super fight, at 165. Khabib Nurmagomedov, 29-0 versus GSP. Make it for the inaugural 165-pound belt. I'm telling you, it's the perfect weight for GSP. It's the perfect weight for Khabib. We are going to see who is the greatest fighter of all time. And I'm telling you, conspiracy theory time, Tabor. If this theory is correct, and they are cutting a lot of flyweights. I haven't looked at the roster. I can't really say. But if they are, and they do do decide to take away the flyweight division, I guarantee you that's what Dana White is setting up, is that 165-pound division, and Khabib Nurmagomedov and George St. Pierre will fight for that inaugural belt. I guarantee it, because it'll be a historic fight, and that's the fight everyone wants to see, and there's a belt on the line. Nothing better than that, man. The only issue that I would have with that 165-pound belt is it'll be the inaugural belt, and then the first ever champ would give it up because they wouldn't defend it. So that would be the kind of the line in the sand, you know, where you go, I don't know if this is the best thing ever to have a new belt and then to have them vacate it immediately after winning it. But nonetheless, that's a huge pay-per-view. That's what everyone wants to see, and that's the only way you're going to get Khabib Nurmagomedov to get out of retirement anyway. So,
and that's probably what's holding Dana White back.
Yeah.
You know, that's probably what's holding him back. I don't understand it. I mean, the logical choice, really, in my opinion, is make 165. But if you're going to keep weight cutting, what's the point? If you're going to have 165, I almost feel like eliminating weight cutting needs to be part of that.
Well, that's what one does.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I just don't think, I think it's just too radical of a change, and it would have to happen too quickly. I don't think it happens. I don't think 165 ever happens. Dana White said it's never going to happen, at least for the next 7 years. Dana White is still on contract for the next 7 years.
And I always talk good about Dana, right? He's my boy, even though he's never met me, but he's my boy. But, dude, how often does Dana White say one thing and then does another and be like, oh, no, I've always had this plan?
Yeah,
I mean, it's always good for the company. It's always good for the sport,
this point,
but he does that a lot.
Yeah, he does. But on this point, I don't see it happening,
really?
Unfortunately. And I want it to. Like,
of course.
You know, I really do, but I just don't see Dana White doing it. I really don't understand the decision. It kind of baffles me.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. I'd love to see a 165-pound division.
Yeah, and just think about like the schmo. Remember the schmo question? Mm-hmm. The tournament you could make.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And the eyeballs you will get on that tournament.
Every tournament. And here's the thing. You want to grow your ESPN Plus subscription? Do the fucking tournament as like fight night tournaments.
Yes.
Dude, millions upon tens of millions of people would tune into that bad boy, especially if it's free on ESPN Plus. Are you kidding me? A tournament
100%.
For a brand new inaugural 165-pound belt or whatever new belt you're going to do? Oh my God, dude, it would sell. A Grand Prix, just like the old school days, you know, just like Bellator's doing. And dude, don't call it a Grand Prix because, you know, I get it. You don't want to copy Bellator, even though Bellator copied it from the old Pride days and stuff. But do a tournament style. I think that'd be awesome. I think so many people would tune into that, dude. It'd be unreal. Yeah,
absolutely. Agree 100%. It is sad that Joelle is gone, though, to bring it back full circle to him. It is sad that he is gone. The memes alone that this man has given us throughout the years in the UFC MMA community.
Jesus.
It's just, it sucks. It is sad to see him go, but I mean, he is such a savage. He is such a freak. He is 400 years old. I think he could still fight for another 100 years easily. I mean, does he go to a Bellator? Does he go to a ONE FC, a Ryzen? I don't know. I hope so, because I still think the man has it for at least another 10 fights, I would think.
Okay, so let's talk about this, all right? Because, you know, we had just recently had Anderson Silva retire from the UFC, right? Okay. Now, because he was 45 years old. I just looked this up. Joelle Romero is 43 years old. Are we hypocritical when we say that we would like to see Joelle Romero go to a different division?
It's different, though, I think. I think if Joelle moves up to 205, which he should be because he is killing himself getting to 185 every time, has struggled in the last few years making weight, yet his last two fights he did make weight. We'll say that. I think if he goes to 205 at Bellator, he's very competitive with a lot of those guys. So it's different I think it's different with Joelle just because he did get into the sport so late. He didn't have, I guess, as much damage or wear on his body as an Anderson Silva does right now. I think, I guess it is a good comparison, though, and I understand your point. I just think it's a little bit different with Joelle. Well,
and here's some more things to kind of defend Joelle Romero here. First and foremost, Anderson Silva was not taking on elite contenders. Yes, he did fight at Uriah Hall in his final fight, and he has fought in guys who are at an elite
Jared
level.
Cannonier,
Jared Cannonier.
Israel Adesanya.
Right, Israel Adesanya. So, you know, Yeah, so yeah,
Yeah, he's fighting top competition.
To fuck with me, yeah, dude, to fuck with my theory there, because you are right. It was Izzy and it was Jared Cannonier. So yeah, I don't know how we can sit here and say Joelle. I think just because we know Joelle Romero is just a freak of nature, and we don't really see with Joelle, you know, besides the whole video game thing against Izzy, where it was like the most boring fight of all time. But other than that, like, we see Joelle Romero still put on a great performance. We don't see him lose a step. I think with Anderson Silva, we definitely saw him slow down. He wasn't as sharp as he was in his prime. I think it was a little bit different scenario. Not only that, but Joelle Romero also wants to continue fighting. I wouldn't mind seeing him over in Bellator if he can make like a 1 year or 2 year run. But I think no matter what, at 45, you got to retire. And I don't know. I feel hypocritical and I feel bad for saying that, but I do believe that Joelle Romero still has a little bit left in the tank. I really do.
I do as well. So yeah, I agree with you 100%. His performances, if you put his performance against, say, Paulo Costa, up against the performance that we've seen from Anderson Silva up against Uriah Hall.
Yeah.
I think there's really levels to this. And I do think Joelle is still up there in that elite level. I don't think he's a top 5 contender in the UFC right now. I think a lot of guys in the middleweight division can probably piece him up. Maybe a Marvin Vettori, like, shit, that would have been a great matchup, but now it'll never happen, you know, now. Yeah. So it is sad to see Joelle go. And I only hope for the best in his future.
Yeah, so do I. I mean, and here's the thing. If an organization like Bellator or One picks up a guy like Joelle Romero, you bet your ass I'm going to tune in and make sure I watch that fight.
Yes.
So if it's on Bellator, if it's on Paramount or DAZN, I'm tuning in because I want to see him fight. And I think with a guy like Joelle Romero, he could easily go over to Bellator and fight for an immediate belt. I think it would be crazy if they didn't allow him to do that, especially with his age, the time frame with which given at 43 years old, and the fact that he's a top 5 guy in the UFC still.
At least one. You know, give him one fight. You know, do like a Corey Anderson's did, you know, give him a top contender at Bellator. Yeah. He fucking wipes them out and then give him a title shot.
Yeah, but time really isn't on his side. And if you're Scott Coker and you want to sign a guy like Joelle Romero, you're kind of like, well, shit, I don't have much in this light heavyweight division right now. Might as well throw him to the Wolves. Joelle could go up to light heavyweight. That would be my assumption of what he would do. And then he'd fight a guy like Ryan Bader. But Ryan Bader just lost his belt. The guy slips my name who beat him, but
who knows?
It'd be an interesting matchup nonetheless.
Yeah,
I think he could compete right away with that champ.
Yeah. All right, Mason, let's talk about some future fights that did get announced that is happening in the UFC. Dominic Cruz versus Casey Kenny is set for UFC 259 in March of 2021. What are your thoughts on this matchup? To quickly give you mine, I'm not excited. I'm not going to lie. I'm not excited with this matchup. I would have much rather seen Dominic Cruz fight someone like Marab, maybe a Sugar Sean O'Malley, someone of that level. I mean, Marab did beat Casey Kenny. Casey Kenny isn't even ranked as we speak in this division. It might be the fight Dominic Cruz needs so he can finally get a win under his belt because he has been injured for so long. But, you know, I'm interested in your opinion. What do you think about this fight?
This was one of the most surprising pieces of news this week, maybe even this month. I did not expect. I mean, you and I are on this podcast week after week talking about when is Dominic Cruz going to fight and who he's going to fight, trying to play matchmaker. And we were completely off here. I mean, we were still talking about Dominic Cruz taking on even a top 4, top 5 guy in this division. And to take a guy unranked, and no disrespect to Kenny, but you know, I'm a little shocked. I'm a little shocked, in all honesty, that one, Dominic Cruz took this fight, and that two, it's not against a guy who's in the top 5. I think right now in Dominic Cruz's career, I mean, he definitely needs a resurgence. So I guess a win over a guy like Casey Kenny would be good. I mean, to have a win under your belt, but again, you're not even talking. How long has it
been since he's had a win? That's the question, and maybe that's why this is a good matchup for him.
Yeah, maybe. But I mean, Dominic Cruz, you know, with all the injuries, with him losing some close fights, he's still an elite fighter. He's still in the top 15 easily, in my opinion. So it's just weird that he's taking competition so far down. I mean, Casey Kenny's no joke, but I mean, I would be pretty shocked if Dominic Cruz lost that fight. I would have much rather seen Dominic Cruz take on a guy like Cody Stamann or Song Yadong. Definitely a Merab. I think a Merab would be a great fight. And Merab was looking for a fight this week. I guess, wasn't he supposed to be on this fight night? Never ended up being on the fight night because we had picked for that fight or something last week. Very strange circumstances. But
I don't think they could get a fight made. I'm not shocked.
Well, yeah, because who the fuck wants to fight Merab?
Exactly. No one's going to want to take that fight on short notice.
The guy's a fucking battery. He's an energy battery, man. He just goes. Takes you down. You get up. He takes you down again. I mean, that is demoralizing. Talk about wanting to literally just end it all. If that man kept doing that to me, I'd just say to hell with it. Kill me now. Get it over with. Put me in a head and arm choke and just put me to sleep. Because it's miserable. So I get why they couldn't find anyone for Merab. No one wants to fucking fight Merab.
Yeah. Yeah. One thing I'm not shocked by is how far out this is scheduled. I mean, March.
Yeah, UFC 259 in March. It's that's a long ways away.
Well, it's Dominic Cruz we're talking about. The man has not been healthy. And when he is healthy, it seems like he gets injured extremely quickly after being. It seems like his windows of being healthy and his body actually holding up for these training camps seems to be very slim for Dominic Cruz. So I'm not shocked, I guess, at this opponent because maybe he is picking and choosing because maybe he sees he only has a few fights left and he needs to really pick and choose his way to go back up the ladder. I thought it would have been against a ranked opponent at the very least, I guess.
I completely agree with you. It's a little weird, but obviously I wish Dominic Cruz best. I hope he goes out there, puts on a great performance against Casey Kenny, and may the best man win. So absolutely.
Let's move on. So Yair Rodriguez, this is something we really should have talked about over the last few weeks, but it's just been speculation. Nothing has really come out about what is going on with Yair Rodriguez.
Well, Tabor,
why has he not had a fight?
You brought it up a couple weeks ago, man. You were talking about Yair Rodriguez. You were like, where the hell is Yair Rodriguez? We haven't heard anything from this guy in weeks, months. We don't know if he's fighting. Where is he right now? We didn't know, and come to find out, USADA just suspended him not just a few days, about a week or so ago, suspended him for 6 months for failure to disclose his location. Not once, not twice, but multiple times. Dude, if you're on the USADA list testing pool, you got to show up. You got to get tested. It's a little shady that you're not going and getting tested. I'm not sitting here saying Yair Rodriguez is cheating. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is it's like, dude, if you're on the list, you got to do your job, right? If you're a construction worker and they tell you got to go to this job site and you don't go to the job site, well, you're going to get in trouble. You're going to get fined. So I don't know what's going through Yair Rodriguez's head. Very strange circumstances, nonetheless.
Well, they're claiming just negligence, really. Like, they're just saying, like, oh, I had no idea. Apparently, there's an app, maybe some sort of app that gets on your phone that USADA has to, because they use the app. You have to update the app
to track
or something like that to track your location. So
right.
USADA knows where you are at all times, so they can come test you whenever the fuck they want. We just heard that story about Yancy Medeiros mid fuck sesh gets barged in by USADA to get the test.
USADA does not care. Jeff Novinsky wants his pee, and he wants it now, damn it. Give me my pee.
Yeah, so it's strange. I agree. It is strange. I mean, his managers come out and just said, oh, we just haven't updated the app. And it's as easy as that. Well, it's like, well, now you're fucked for 6 months, dude.
Right. So it's like, do your due diligence and just update the app. I mean, it's not a good excuse. Like in a lot of situations with USADA and like suspending guys, I'm like, okay, come on, this is bullshit, with certain situations. But with this one, man, I kind of get it. Like, if the guy's not going to show up, if he's not going to get, he's in the testing pool and you can't ever find this guy to test him, he kind of deserves a 6-month suspension.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
You just deserve it for stupidity.
Yeah.
It's just dumb. And it's a really dumb excuse.
You got to be accountable too, man. You just got to be accountable.
It's a better excuse than you being a cheater. I will say that. So if he is cheating and he was just avoiding these, it's not going to be good. Hopefully USADA did find him. Hopefully they are doing blood tests and all this stuff. And hopefully he isn't cheating because I do like Yair Rodriguez. He's a very, very entertaining fighter.
He's a great fighter.
And I would hate for him to have his career tarnished. I mean, the man's number 4 in the world right now?
Yeah, he's insane, man. Yes.
And now you're fucked for 6 months. It's only going to hurt your career.
When he has iconic moments, even in the UFC, I mean, that spinning elbow against a Korean zombie in the last, 5 seconds or whatever? That was insane. Again, Yair Rodriguez is a great fighter. We want him in the UFC. It's just like you gotta be accountable to your job, to what you're supposed to do. You got to show up or let them know. and you got to get tested. It's as easy as that, man. I mean, sometimes there are just rules in play that you have to follow when you have a job. And this is one of the rules that you got to follow. Otherwise, you will get suspended the same way you get suspended at work for not doing your job or for doing something wrong. You know, and it wasn't just one time. We can have a little grace, right? Let's say Yair Rodriguez didn't know where he was and he was like, oh, I'm sorry, one time, you know, whatever. But according to my understanding of this, it has been multiple times, and this has been a persistent problem that's got to stop. Just show up and pee in a cup, dude. That's all we're asking.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Yair Rodriguez is somewhere in Mexico right now doing lines off of hookers' asses and with a needle in his ass. Who knows?
More power to him, right?
The next John Jones in the making, baby. Let's go.
No, hopefully not.
Hopefully not. All right, let's get into this real quick. It might be quick. It's pretty crazy fucking news. I'm not gonna lie.
This is insane. And this just
Floyd Money Mayweather versus Logan Paul is set for February 20th, 2021.
Yep.
The world is ending. It is confirmed. Like, what?
Dude,
it's insane.
It is. This is actually, Floyd Mayweather posted on his Instagram story about this earlier today. Kind of freaked everyone out. Everyone was freaking out, ready to go. Did you see the pay-per-view model too? Very interesting. Did you see that?
Smart, I think.
The first
because if
million,
you buy it now, you're getting less money. You're getting that big discount.
Yeah,
so,
this
and if you buy it the day of, it's like what, $80 or something?
Yes, yeah. So if the first million pay-per-views are $24.99. That's it. That's all you're going to pay for this pay-per-view.
Gone already.
Gone. Oh, I guarantee it's already fucking gone. They're so smart. This is brilliant marketing. So all that's gone. Now it jumps up. The next tier, I believe, is $39.99, which goes to a certain date. Once you're past that date, it goes to $49.99. And then after December 27th or January, something like that, it goes all the way up to the full price for the pay-per-view.
Yeah, the brilliant marketing is more expensive.
The what?
The day of was like $90.
Yeah, the day of is super expensive. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where most of your pay-per-views are bought too.
Yep.
And they're still going to be raking in that money. People don't give a fuck. No. They will pay $100 to watch Logan Paul get knocked the fuck out by Floyd Mayweather.
Hey, yeah, I mean, definitely. But Logan Paul, one thing we do have to talk about here in all seriousness, obviously, Floyd Money Mayweather is a phenomenal boxer, 50-0, undefeated, has not been touched. You know, obviously has
greatest of all time. You have to say that.
What, greatest of all time?
I think he is.
Yeah, well, I don't have a problem saying that. Sure, yeah, greatest of all time boxer. I mean, Muhammad Ali, and I know Muhammad had lost some fights and whatnot, but yeah, he's definitely up there. He's on the Mount Rushmore, unquestionably. I'm not too familiar with boxing, in the same way I am mixed martial arts.
Yeah.
There was a point I was trying to make, but but Logan Paul, right. Logan Paul is so much bigger. I mean, in Logan Paul's last fight, he weighed in at 194.5 pounds, whereas Floyd Money Mayweather weighed in at 144.5 pounds in his last fight. Now, hey, I get it. Floyd Money Mayweather has got the better skills, obviously. But again, you're dealing with a guy who's 50 pounds heavier than you and can put a lot of torque on his punches. Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
What I'm wondering is, what was the contracted weight? If you don't mind Googling this for me, what is the contracted weight for the Mayweather versus McGregor fight? Because I think that was like 160 something or something like that. Because I know Floyd is one of these guys where he would cut a lot of weight in his career, and he would also fight at these upper weight classes, won world championships at these upper weight classes. I'm curious about what contracted weight this is going to be.
So I just Googled that information for you. At the weigh-in, Mayweather tipped the scales at 149.5 pounds with McGregor at 153 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I wonder if they make Logan cut weight. And they go, hey, Logan, you got to weigh in at 170.
It would be interesting. I don't know. And see, this is the thing. This news kind of just broke today. So I don't know if all the details are going to be out as to whether or not they even set a weight class for this.
Well, they're probably
I'm trying to find it right now, but
they're probably still negotiating that. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be shocked if that's all needs to be negotiated. I wouldn't be shocked if Floyd comes in at fucking 165 pounds. 170 pounds, dude. I wouldn't be shocked if he was big. I don't even know if the man's been training all that often. I don't keep track of his Instagram. I just don't care.
Right.
To be honest. So it's just interesting. I do think Floyd Mayweather, even though he is way smaller, I don't think he'll get hit. I just think he's too good of a greatest defensive boxer of all time. I don't think he'll get hit. I think it's just going to be a completely one-sided show. He might play and toy with Logan Paul for a few rounds like he did Conor and then finish him viciously. At least that's what I kind of hope happens.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't mind Logan Paul. I'm not a huge fan of his brother, in all honesty, but, I listen to his podcast, Impulsive, every so often. I think the kid means well. He's not bad. And as far as boxing is concerned, I mean, isn't he like 1-1 in his professional boxing career? Didn't he fight KSI, which is another YouTuber, and won one and lost one?
I'm pretty sure he lost them both. The first one was a draw, I think, and then he lost. So I'm pretty sure he hasn't even had a win.
Yeah, that's strange. You would almost figure that Jake Paul would have had this fight against Floyd Mayweather. But instead it's Logan. I don't know. It's very strange. Let's move on.
Probably more money. Let's move on. Yeah, we spending too much time already. Let's move on to this Angela Hill.
All right, so Angela Hill just tweeted out just a couple hours ago that she has tested positive for the coronavirus and will not be fighting in her upcoming fight, which really just kind of sucks.
R.I.P.
Well, she didn't die.
Just dies. No, she's fine. She's fine. I mean, when was her fight? Was it this?
It was Saturday, December 12th against Tecia Torres.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and that's a good matchup. It's a great matchup.
It was a great matchup. Would have been a fun fight.
Yeah. Hopefully she recovers and 100% and fights soon because she had a great 2020.
Yeah, she did.
So before we start our preview show, I mean, how long has this podcast been already? It's crazy that it feels like our longest podcast has been over Zoom.
I know. Isn't that weird? I know. We were wondering. We're like, I don't know if we're going to be able to do this show or how it's going to be, but we're just rambling along.
Yeah, we're rambling along. Who gives a fuck how long this has been? I think it's time to start our preview show, Mason. Let's do it. So UFC 256, Deiveson Figareto versus Brandon Moreno. It's a short notice fight for both men.
Yep.
This is the main event. It's going to be a great co-main with Tony Ferguson and Olivier, but let's start with this main event here with Deiveson and Brandon. I'm just going to give you my pick right now. I think Deiveson finishes Brandon in the first round. I think he is so much better than the rest of this 125-pound division. I think he's going to be the king for a very long time. And like we talked earlier in MMA news, I wouldn't be shocked if this division is gone soon. So I think they let him rack up a couple more victories at 125, have him move up to 135, get that super fight, get that big pay-per-view money. I'm sorry, Brandon Moreno. I know you're a legit guy. Let's talk about him a little bit because he is so legit. And I really do think he has the weapons to beat a guy like Figareto. But Figareto, I just think this will be a levels to this type of fight. And I think he's going to prove to everybody that he is just that much better than the rest of this division.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that, Tabor. I think Deiveson Figareto, as we talk about all the time, is just on another level. There are levels to this game, and this man has just exceeded and surpassed any sort of a benchmark that you can as far as flyweights are concerned. I mean, the man's record is 20-1. Going against a guy like Brandon Moreno, who, in my opinion, and I've brought up before, I think should have had this fight before Alex Perez, but obviously Alex Perez having a very impressive performance against Formiga, kind of skipped that line a little bit. But now we're going to get the Deiveson Figareto, Brandon Moreno, and this is also history-making as well because this is the first time that a fighter has headlined in back-to-back pay-per-views. This has never happened. I don't know if it will ever happen again, man, if I'm being honest. But Brandon Moreno, I think he's a great fighter, but there are levels to this game. I have Deiveson Figareto clipping him, and I think when he gets him a little woozy, he's going to take him down in the first round. I think he's going to get a submission.
Wow. First round sub back-to-back, huh?
Yep.
Interesting. Brandon Moreno, he is a savage on the ground. He is a savage on the feet. This could be a 5-round war. Maybe we're not giving Brandon Moreno the respect he deserves. This could be a 5-round war. I don't see it happening. I'm sticking with first round finish, but I wouldn't be shocked, I guess. That's how good Brandon Moreno is, but I just don't see it happening. Figueiredo is he's scary, I guess.
Yeah.
It's the best way to put it. He's just too scary. He's
just bigger. He's stronger. He's faster. He hits harder. It's just like, dude, he is the full package. He's the full package, and I don't see anyone taking away his belt for a while. And I completely agree with you, man. This is eventually he's going to move up to bantamweight. He's probably going to take that belt, and shit's going to get interesting. It's going to get real interesting for Deiveson Figueiredo.
Mm-hmm. And a win over Brandon Moreno kind of does avenge his one loss, because Brandon Moreno did finish Formiga, and Formiga did finish Figueiredo. And Formiga just got cut, so that fight's never going to happen.
Nope, it's never going to happen.
Never avenge that loss. So, maybe this is that.
But, again, I don't think he ever would need to. Sometimes you just lose. Again, unless you're Khabib Nurmagomedov, sometimes you just lose. And Deiveson Figueiredo could literally go his whole career with never losing another fight again.
Yeah. All right. I know you want to talk about this fight, because I know I do. I can't wait for it. Tony Ferguson versus Charles Oliveira, co-main event of the evening. It needs to be 5 rounds and should be 5 rounds, but let's give Tony a break. Let's give him a break, especially with a savage like Charles Oliveira. I guess that's not a break at all.
But again, I always go back to this. It's like any single Tony Ferguson fight, dude, I just want to see go 5 rounds. I just want to see go 5 rounds. I mean, goddamn, dude. I know we're giving him a break with this 3-round fight against Charles Oliveira, but dude, Oliveira. But my God, man, is this not the fight? Yeah, a break. No. Yeah. Hey, dude, Charles Oliveira, man. Tune-up. No joke. No, he's no tune-up. He is no joke whatsoever. But I'm giving him props here when I say I'd much rather see this fight 5 rounds than 3.
Yeah,
I really would. I mean, these two going at it, it's going to be so much fun. Charles his jiu-jitsu is underrated in my opinion, and I think, but Tony Ferguson over at 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu and the boogeyman El Kukui on the ground, he is dangerous off his back. And man, I think this is going to be a bloody war. This is going to be a fantastic fight. And the odd makers right now have this fight at a Ferguson at a -160 favorite and Charles Oliveira at a +140. Pretty good value on both ends, I think, because I would give the slight advantage to Tony Ferguson. Tabor, what are your thoughts on this fight?
I can't wait for it. That's my thought. Yeah. I don't care who wins. I just want to see it. No, I got to make a pick.
Yeah, you got to make a pick.
This is a rough fight, dude. This is a rough fight to make a pick for. I mean, either guy can finish each other. Tony Ferguson is savage on his feet, savage on the ground. Like you said, 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu phenom. He's got that crazy rubber guards, can fight off his back. But so can Charles Oliveira. Yep. I don't consider his jiu-jitsu underrated. I think he has some of the best jiu-jitsu we've ever seen in MMA, period. He has the most submissions in the UFC. It's a very hard fight for me to pick, dude. I'm torn. I am really torn right now. If this goes down to the ground, I have to give Oliveira the advantage, dude. Yes, I have to give Oliveira the advantage on the ground, dude. He is next level with that jiu-jitsu, I think. If it goes down to the ground, I don't think it's a give him. I don't think he instantly finishes Tony Ferguson, because Tony Ferguson is just a motherfucker. No matter where you're fighting Tony Ferguson, it's going to be difficult.
It's hell. Yeah.
But I see Charles Oliveira winning in these grappling exchanges, winning these position battles, winning these battles you need to win to defeat a Tony Ferguson. I'm not saying he can't beat him on the feet. I think he can as well. He is that good. The way he was pressuring Kevin Lee in that last fight, it was amazing. And it was beautiful to watch. It really was. He was making Kevin Lee do exactly what he wanted him to do to set up all his counter shots. And it was a masterful performance. I'm nervous for Tony Ferguson. I really am in this fight. Charles Oliveira is the full package. He is a phenom on the ground, and he is extremely dangerous on the feet now. I'm picking Charles Oliveira, dude. I'm going Charles Oliveira. 3rd round submission. I think he finishes him. I think it's a crazy. If this stays on the feet, it's a war. It's a war. It's any man's fight. But if it goes down to the ground, I really do think Oliveira will out-grapple him and will win these position battles. So I'm going Oliveira 3rd round sub.
Wow. Yeah, I may have overstated when I said underrated jiu-jitsu, but I think what I meant to say there was more, I don't hear it talked about with Charles Oliveira as much as I do Tony Ferguson. Everyone talks about Tony Ferguson being able to fight off of his back, but I don't think we hear it enough on the Charles Oliveira side. This man can fight on his back. He has been in some bloody wars, and he has submitted the best of the best.
And he's the underrated one.
Absolutely.
No one talks about him. No one talks about him. He's just completely forgotten in this lightweight division. But I mean, the man's on like an 8-fight win streak or some shit.
He could definitely be the dark horse in this division, unquestionably.
Absolutely. He is. He is, in my opinion. This is the fight he needs to be talked about for a title shot. And I think that's what he's going to get eventually. I mean, the man is on a fucking train right now to the top.
Well, you know me, I'm a little biased here. Tony Ferguson's one of my favorite fighters in the UFC. But just biased as far as like likability. But as far as skills, I think Tony Ferguson matches up perfectly against Charles Oliveira, and I think Oliveira matches up perfectly against Tony Ferguson. This is, again, really good matchmaking here. It wasn't the fight we initially thought was going to happen, but it is the fight that is happening, and I'm very happy about it. I think this will be a war. I think it'll be back and forth. You know, I'd like to see this on the feet a little while before it hits the mat, just to see who's got the advantage in the striking department. But I for whatever reason, man, I cannot count out the boogeyman, El Kukui. I got to go with Tony Ferguson by decision. I think it'll be a razor-thin decision, and everyone at the end of this fight, when the decision cards come out, are going to be like, damn, I wish this would have been a main event, because we would have wanted 2 more rounds, man. Yes. We would have wanted this fight to be 5 rounds. So I see Tony Ferguson winning split decision.
Yeah, it's going to be an absolutely fantastic fight. Possible fight of the night, possible fight of the year.
Yep.
I mean, it's hard. It's going to be hard to I still have Zhang Weili and Joanna as number 1 fight.
And I think that'll win it.
It probably will, but if with a fight like this, dude, it would not shock me if this was the new contender to beat. It's a very good fight.
Yes, and I would agree with you under any other circumstance, except this fight is only 3 rounds and not 5. True. That's the only caveat that really fucking blows about this, is because if this fight was 5 rounds, I'd be right on board with you, Tabor, and I'd be like, yeah, absolutely. But dude, I really feel like we're going to get that 3-round war. I think this fight's going to be insane, and then at the end of that 3rd round, as I said before, we're all going to be clamoring for more. But unfortunately, that's just how the cookie crumbles, you know?
Yep. So let's move on to this next fight. Let's talk about Renato Moycano versus Rafael Fazeev. Another fantastic fight in this lightweight division. I'm not going to lie, this card is actually pretty ridiculously stacked.
Yeah, it is.
It really is. So Renato Moycano, Rafael Fazeev, it's a fantastic fight. Both unranked, up-and-coming lightweight contenders. But, I mean, like I said earlier, dude, the lightweight division is ridiculous right now. So even though it is an unranked fight, and it is right before the co-main, it couldn't be a better fight. You couldn't have had a better fight going into this Tony Ferguson fight. This is a very interesting matchup. Renato Moycano, since moving up from 145, has been extremely dangerous. Another guy who, like Charles Oliveira, his jiu-jitsu is phenomenal, and he's very good on the feet. But Fazeev in his last fight looked like a fucking marauder, dude. He is a savage. It's an interesting matchup. I can't wait for this fight, really. It's another great fight. I'm just going to give you my pick right now. I'm going Moycano decision. I don't think either man really finishes each other. I think this goes all 3 rounds. I do think Moycano, if this goes down to the ground, he will have the advantage. So expect him to go for some takedowns. Expect him to be going for some submission attempts. But Fazeev is so fucking tough. I don't see him finishing him, but I am going Moycano unanimous decision.
Yeah, you know, I'd have to agree with that too. I do lean towards Moycano in this fight. And for me, for whatever reason, I think his jiu-jitsu is superior, and I have to go with Moycano, 3rd round submission.
All right. This fight, I'm very excited to talk about. Yeah. You know my guy, Kevin Holland. He's finally getting the big fight. He was supposed to fight Jack Hermansson. Didn't happen, fell through, but now he's got Jacare Souza. This is a rough matchup for my guy, Kevin Holland. I'm not going to lie, dude. This is a fucking rough matchup. I almost don't want to make this pick. I'm gonna be honest. I don't want to make this. I don't even want to break down this fight because it's just going to piss me off because my guy, Kevin Holland, might get his fucking knee rearranged. He might be out for 6 months, dude. This is going to be a rough fight if it goes down to the ground. Jacare Souza, one of the best jiu-jitsu guys we've ever seen, against Kevin Holland, an up-and-coming shit talker. Like, it's not a good matchup. But Kevin Holland's coming into this fight very, very, very confident. I mean, he was going to fight Jack, who's got ridiculous jiu-jitsu, and now it's Jacare, who's got even more ridiculous jiu-jitsu. He wants his jiu-jitsu tested, and that's what's going to happen, dude. Kevin Holland unanimous decision. I can't pick against him.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Jacare Souza, obviously, one of the best around. He has had a great career in the UFC, but, you got to start leaning towards these new up-and-coming guys who have just showed time and time again that they want to be here, that they will do anything possible to win. I mean, we're looking at a guy like Kevin Holland, who is going to have 5 fights within a 12-month period. I mean, that's unheard of, Tabor. That's insane.
Yeah.
The man has already fought 4 times this year, and he's going to take a 5th fight. You want to talk about wanting it more than anyone else? Kevin Holland wants it more than anyone else, and he's not afraid to talk shit either. He's not afraid to let you know it. And I really like that veracity. I love seeing that in fighters. I love seeing them just wanting it, desiring that gold. And, Jacare Souza, he's sitting on the other side of 40 right now. He's 40 years old, and he's getting older. I think, eventually with age, you start to slow down a bit. Not to say that Jacare Souza by any means is not deserving to be here, but I think Kevin Holland gets the job done, man. I see Kevin Holland winning this fight 3 rounds. I'm going to go also Kevin Holland decision.
All right. I mean, dude, if the Jacare Souza that fought Jan Blachowicz for 5 rounds in that last fight shows up, Kevin Holland could get a knockout. Kevin Holland, I mean, I didn't even talk about his striking. Kevin Holland's striking is ridiculously good. The man's a very, very good fighter. I love to talk about how good of a shit talker he is because it's one of my favorite aspects of his game. Let's be real. He talks shit in the middle of the fight. I love that stuff. It makes me excited. It makes me want to watch your fights. But he's very, very good. I feel like I talk more about his mouth than I do his skill set. His skill set's very elite, and he's been very impressive. If he gets a win over Jacare Souza, I think you have to be clamoring for this guy to be Fighter of the Year. 5-fight winning streak, 2020, against a very elite competition, might I add, and especially if he beats a Jacare Souza. So.
Well, and I would have to agree with that. I mean, it's unprecedented in the UFC history, man, to have a fighter fight 5 times and win 5 times within a 12-month period. I think that's literally like the main trait of being the fighter of the year. I mean, being the most yes man on the roster is a huge deal, and to not just win fights, but to win them decisively. That's what Kevin Holland goes out there and does time and time again this year. So, yeah, I would agree with you. If he went out there and beat a guy like Jacare Ronaldo Souza, then yes, absolutely, he's got to be top contender for the Fighter of the Year. Yeah.
Needs to be in the consideration for sure. So let's move on to Junior Dos Santos versus Cyril Ghani. I don't have so much to talk about this fight. Cyril Ghani is only 6-0. He's only had 6 fights in his whole career.
When his
he
last
has been
fight
tested with some of these upper guys in the heavyweight division, but I mean, this is a huge test. If you're going to fight Junior Dos Santos in your first top 5, top 10 matchup, it's a rough matchup, dude. It's a very rough matchup. Junior still got it. He was very competitive in that Jairzinho Rosenstrike fight before he got hit with that big right or left. I forget what it was. Too many fights. I'm going to go Dos Santos, 2nd round KO. I think he's a vet, dude. The man's got almost 30 fights now. This will be his 30th fight, I think. It's rough for me to pick a guy that's had 30 fights and his former UFC champ still got it against a 6-0 up-and-coming heavyweight. So I'm going Dos Santos, 2nd round KO.
Okay. For me, JDS, again, another legend of the sport, another guy that's been around forever. But again, I love these up and coming guys. Gang is only 30 years old. He's 6-0. His last fight was last year against Tanner Boser, where he got a decision win and then submitted his last 2 opponents outside of that. I like Ghani here. I like the up-and-coming guys. I think JDS is a little past his prime. His chin has been tested. He's been knocked out a few times now in a row. And I just think it's time for the new blood. I'm going to go Ghani, 2nd-round knockout.
All right. So, to round off our preview show, Mason, we got to talk about the main event of the prelims on ESPN2 and ESPN+. Cub Swanson versus Daniel Pineda. I'm going to keep this real short and sweet. I like me some Cub Swanson. I've always been a big Cub Swanson fan, and I don't care who he's fucking fighting. I'm probably taking him. Cub Swanson, unanimous decision.
All right. Cub Swanson has a special place in my heart. I drove my car 16 hours to go watch him fight in a main event that he lost to Brian Ortega. But nonetheless, an entertaining, very fun night of fights. And Cub Swanson is a guy that I've always liked. I've always loved watching his fights. But again, I got to go with Pineda here. I think he is the guy that's going to get the job done. Long story short, I have Pineda winning first round KO.
Alrighty then. Well, we made it to that time, Mason. Shout outs. Who do you got?
I'm going to let you go first.
All right. I am going with a YouTube commenter. Guys, remember, leave a comment on any of our videos. If it's funny, makes me laugh, doesn't even have to be that. Talk shit. If I like your comment, I'm going to shout you out on the show at the end of the show every time. So my comment is to Sirija Reyes. Connor won one fight in like 3 years. Doesn't deserve a title match just yet, guys. Let's be real. As long as Khabib is in the pool, he's going to have the belt. Agree with everything you just said there, my guy. 100%. As long as Khabib is still in the testing pool, he will have the belt. But he continues to keep on talking about how he is not interested in making that comeback and would need his mother's blessing to make that comeback.
Yeah, that's what he said. And, dude, I'm telling you, he's leaving the door open. Khabib Nurmagomedov is leaving the door open. He's leaving it into the hands of his mother, and his mother will give him that blessing. It may take a year. It may take 18 months, but it will happen. She will give him his blessing, and he will fight GSP 30-0. I'm telling you, it's going to happen, folks.
I guess my question really is just how long do we wait? How long are we going to wait for Khabib?
I'm willing to wait 2 years for that fight. But after 2 years...
they'll have to do an interim or something before then.
Yeah. I'm not saying like the belt. They would have to he'd have to vacate the belt within 12 months. I think no matter what, I think any fighter on the roster, I don't care if you're 100-0, I think after 12 months, if you don't fight, then you got to vacate your belt and you can come back and fight for it later on. But you can't hold up a division for longer than 12 calendar months. You just can't do it. But yeah, I think the longest I'd wait is about 18 to 24 months to see that fight happen. After that, I lose interest because by then GSP will have been 40 years old by then. So I don't want to see it once GSP hits that age. Yeah.
Yeah. Got any shout outs or you just want to say fuck it?
My shout out is, Zoom. There we go.
Zoom for
Thank you so much.
And allowing this podcast to happen still.
Yeah. Because it still allowed this podcast to happen. And this is going to be a good alternative, dude. Like if we can't meet up one week or something, we can do Zoom. Definitely don't want to make it a habit. But like if we're out of town or something, like, hey, it'll work.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So let's do it, Mason. Another one bites the dust. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, at the Church of MMA, guys. If you aren't following us already, go and do it. Funny memes, clips of the show. We're trying to make you laugh. Hit us up.
Check out our YouTube channel too. Be sure to subscribe there. We're going to hit 400 by next week, guys. And if you want some church merch, you can find that link in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. This is the Church of MMA. My name is Mason Knight. That is Tabor Cragen. And until next time.
Peace.